And welcome, right on time. Welcome to all our Flow engineers. My name is Matt Kesby, the Chief AI Officer at MultiPlai.tech and GoTeam. Super excited to have so many faces back on again as we continue our journey into mastering the art of AI agents and building out your flows. Today is going to be an interesting day, a two-part series. And with this, we'll be going into the recruitment space today. And also I've got heaps of news. There's so many new features about to roll out as well. So let's dive into it. So today's session is all on recruitment. So using AI agents to build position descriptions and communications. We will be continuing our journey looking at all of the key pillars in business. So you can kind of keep this marathon going of building out flows in your organization. And then next week we'll keep the theme. And we'll be using AI agents to review, rate, and rank job applications. So next week, it'll all be showing you how to load up CVs to be able to do a lot of assessment for you. Also noting, it's actually 5th of July, we will be having our AI strategic roadmap session. There'll be a link going to the chat so you can register for that event that's coming up. That'll be on the 5th of July, 2024. Whether that is Australia or US, the times will be different, but there'll be two sessions, one for Australia and one for the United States. In that session, you're also going to get access to the new downloadable app so that you'll be able to put your agent or key agent or agents installed at your machine, at your fingertips to access. So here's a little sneak peek. I don't know if I can show you on my other screen. No. Okay. So on the PowerPoint presentation there, you'll see what we call our heads-up display. So we can keep the main thing. And in the heads-up display, you'll gain access to the Raya Pro. You'll be able to dock a specific agent. Our approach is to give every team member in their specific role their own AI and that it lives actually on the machine. This is the beginning of some very special things coming for what's possible with these personal AI agents for each team member. That will be available for everyone that comes along to the AI strategic roadmap session next week or next week's Flow Friday as well. Now, when we get together, it's not just about using the tool. It's also about expanding our knowledge and understanding how AI works and what these building blocks are that makes this so remarkable at this point in time. And there's one key aspect around AI agents that is different from the large language models that we use. And it's this concept of being able to make your agents smarter as they go along. Now, the key approach in AI to do this is something called retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG for short. I'm going to share with you kind of how this works, but not in a really technical sense, but more in understanding what it means to us in an analogy. Let's imagine for the moment that we've got, let's say, a certified practicing accountant, a CPA. The CPA will have gone to university, studied, and obtained their qualifications. And that might have been, let's say the certified practicing accountant finished university in 2020, so a number of years ago. During that time at university, a lot of training was done, a lot of practice was done. And if we looked at this CPA's brain, yes, this is a brain, okay, we would say there's a lot of memory stored into long-term memory. The way our brains work, though, is we don't just have long-term memory. We've also got short-term memory, which is the prefrontal cortex. And that's where we do our logic and processing, and we can deal with what's happening in front of us. But it doesn't mean that we will retain that information for long term, but we need that prefrontal cortex. Now, if we were to say to this CPA, could you please tell me about the structure in a profit and loss and a balance sheet, we would expect that due to all of their training and their long-term memory, they would easily be able to tell us about the structure of a profit and loss and a balance sheet. In a way, that's a little bit like our large language models that have been trained on data in the past, and therefore, with that training, it could also explain to us the structure of a profit and loss and a balance sheet. Now, if we were to say to that same accountant, that same CPA, certified practicing accountant, if we said, could you please tell us the profit for ABC business in April 2021, and they had previously read that, chances are their ability to remember it pretty low with all the other data that needs to be seen. What they would need to do is actually go and retrieve that document, read it, and then give their response. Now, with AI, we've got a similar scenario going on here. So if we could, once again, or I should say, of course, we call this on the left here human intelligence, right? And then on the right, naturally, this is going to be artificial intelligence. Now, where we have that prefrontal cortex and the logic, we can use our eyes to go and we can go and use our hands if we need to, click on the mouse and retrieve the document that we need to read, and then use our eyes to read it. And then once we've read that document, we could then generate what our response is going to be. Now, the AI is going to behave in a similar way. The large language model has given us the foundation information around things like profit and loss and balance sheet, just like being a CPA. But what it's not doing yet is the ability to access this additional information. Just like we saw over here with the prefrontal cortex, we're going to need to see a document store for the data, fresh data, and use something called retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG for short. So imagine now we're able to find the document that has the information about the profit and loss for ABC company for April 2021. And the AI agent is going to bring together both the large language model and that document store using an approach called RAG, retrieval-augmented generation, to get the answer. So it's going to essentially retrieve this information and augment its response with the LLM. So it's with the large language model. It's bringing these two concepts together. And isn't it interesting how the human intelligence approach and the artificial intelligence approach has quite some similarities to it? Now, if we didn't have a prefrontal cortex, we wouldn't be able to do that activity. And if our AI agents don't have RAG, retrieval-augmented generation, and access to that data, it also can't do the activity. So, and this really in business is when we're using AI, we're going to constantly be calling and utilizing this concept of retrieval-augmented generation. Okay, so then how do we get RAG to work, or where are the locations in Raya Pro where we can access this? There's actually 3 places that we can look at, and they've got 3 different use cases. So there's a section in Raya called Infobase. And Infobase, and I'll quickly just jump over to the screen so you switch to the laptop so you can see where that is. And so we'll go to the dashboard. So in Raya, we've got a section up the top right-hand side here called Infobase. I'll zoom in a bit more. That's too much. Okay, so when we click on Infobase, what this does is it gives you a zone that you can set up any essentially labeled information. You could think of it as like a question and answer. It might be FAQs about your business. It might be your business's address, key information, the products that you have at a high level, maybe information about your team. These sorts of things could go into your Infobase. And when you put data into your Infobase, what will happen is all agents will have access. So all the agents that you have created, they're all going to get the access. So the thing to bear in mind there is ask yourself the question, are you an agency where you'll use your agents to create content for someone else, or are you creating the content and the actions for your business? So I point that out because you need to be somewhat mindful that if you fill your info base up in a way that will give the information to all of the agents, then it's definitely best used if you're just using Raya for your own business. If you're, for example, a marketing agency and you're doing lots of work for different clients, you might keep that area relatively light. Okay, and there's a question there saying last week's video does not appear in the business blueprint site. You'll be able to definitely find that on YouTube at our AI Powered People. Nice if you could put that in the chat. Maybe you have. Cool. And so info base, it will give the knowledge to all agents. The next one is knowledge base. And in the knowledge base, this is for a single agent, just for the single agent. And where this appears is when you open up an agent. Let's edit this one. When you open up an agent, you'll see the section called knowledge base. And there we can either drag and drop a PDF, a doc file, text, Excel, PNG, or JPEG files, or we can link to external resources. Of course, we have our source wiki, OneBrain, also a wiki, OneDrive for Microsoft, and this time next week, expect to see Google Drive in there as well. So that's where we're going to give that specific knowledge just to this agent. Now, there's one more that area where we can add knowledge as well, and that is in the chat itself. And this is what we'd call situational knowledge. And it's just going to be in the chat feature for that particular conversation that you're having. It's not going to be stored for later on. It's just for that particular chat. So that's quite useful when you've got scenarios where you need to deal with an item, but it doesn't need to be stored for the future, for long term. So today, in today's session, what we'll be doing is adding some knowledge to the knowledge base section. And then next week, we'll look more specifically at the situational when we get into reviewing CVs, where we would put the CVs in the chat. So as an example would be, today we're going to create a recruitment manager, and that recruitment manager is going to create a position description template. And then once that template's created, we're going to store the template here in the knowledge base. Then next week, when we do the CV reviews, we're going to put the CVs in the chat because we just want to do an assessment against those CVs in the chat itself. Okay, a few questions. I've been creating custom GPs for each client as info-based equivalent. How do I do that in Raya? So for each client, if you had a custom agent per client, then you would be able to put that information in there. That's option one. The second option is where you keep your agents generic so they can be used for all clients. And then when you go to work on a client's work, whether that's in a workflow or just individual chat, what you can do is keep your client information stored like it was in Infobase, but actually put it over in locations like SourceWiki or OneBrain or Microsoft OneDrive or soon Google, and then reference it there so that it's going to get the power of like Infobase, but just in that wiki section itself. So imagine where you've got 20 different clients and each client has a section in your SourceWiki or similar. Keep all that information in there. In fact, sorry, I'll probably do it this way. I'll put it into the imagery here. So let's say we're in chat now, and we've got the chat, and we've got the ability to add to. I'll just put SourceWiki, and over in the SourceWiki, you've got a section for client 1, and then some pages for them. Client 2, pages for them. And so when you go to have that conversation with the agent or set up the workflow, you would reference the pages for that client that's relevant. Anthony's asked, can we add documents and PDFs into Infobase, or do we have to enter all the data manually? Hey, can we add that down as a feature request? If Jay's online, let's add that as a feature request. If not, nice if you can track that. It would be handy to drag and drop docs into Infobase. Great, let's add that onto the feature request. Albert's asking, are our private data, when put into Infobase, will it be transferred outside or private zone or to a public zone or into third-party hands? So whenever you're putting, so we won't transfer it ourselves to any third party, but please understand that when you are dealing with any software as a service application, that your data and information is going into the cloud, and it's going to be utilized by services that help to make that use case or give you the results that you need. So for example, when you put a document into, whether it's into Infobase or into the knowledge for the agent, it's going to be converted from that text into numbers, into an array. It will be stored in a vector database. So it'll be stored in a vector database. The other thing is the language model that you select, it's also going to have some of that information will be connected to it. Now, at the moment, you've got OpenAI as the supplier there for, and you can choose your model, whether it's 3.5 or 4.0 or 4, and soon we'll be adding other models as well. Now, in the future, we'll get to a point where you'll be able to actually request to have your very own models that no one else can access. But right now, you definitely need to have the comfort of understanding that the AI is using those. And so all the security for us, everything is HTTPS, encrypted data, and shortly you'll see our penetration testing certificate will come out on the site as well to give you lots of confidence. As a bit of a background, we actually build PCI compliant software. We're handling a huge amount of personal identifiable information, and so security is paramount for us. Hope that's helpful. We've got a fintech in Australia as well, so there's lots of security at the forefront of what we're doing. Okay, let's get into today's exercise, and nice if you could share the worksheet today. Flow Fridays, creating the position descriptions and communication. I'll zoom in a little bit there too. So in this session, we're going to create a recruitment manager agent. Oh, thanks, Chase. And then from there, we're going to create a position description template structure, and we'll load that structure into knowledge to get a standardization going forward into the knowledge base. Then we'll create a 4-step workflow, which will be writing the position description, creating a personalized email, and thank you for applying. We'll create an invitation to book an interview and create a personalized unsuccessful email. So let's get ready. Hopefully you've got 2 screens. It's definitely the best way to do it. I'll be playing on 1 screen. At home, I hope you're playing on 2. Pop me on 1, and then Raya and the documents on the second, and let's do this. Who's ready to go? Pop a 1 in the chat. If you're ready to go, you got Raya open and you got your resources ready. You can go, boom, 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 boom. All right. Now, last week you all beat me. You were flying ahead at a massive rate. I love it. So I will check in from time to time, but let's get into our flow building. It's definitely time to engage. Let's do this. Okay. So our first step here, go down. We're changing our documentation to make it easier for you to read. There's 2 sets of resources here. One is this document itself, just in case you share it with a friend. And then the other one is the position description template. We're actually going to create that ourselves, but I've got it here for ease of use and copy and pasting. Now, as you scroll down the page, you'll see we'll be doing this in 3 parts. So part 1 is creating the agents. Part 2 is creating the flow. And part 3, which needs a heading, will be actually running the flow itself. So first things first, we're going to create the recruitment manager agent in our agent builder, and then we'll get on to the position description template. Now, what I'm doing for you, I hope this is more helpful. If it's in purple, it means that we're going to copy and paste this information. So while we're on the worksheet here, please just copy the title Recruitment Manager, and then navigate over to Raya to the Agent section and select Build New Agent. With the Build New Agent selected, all you need to do where it says enter agent role is paste that name in there. Then select an icon for that person. Gosh, they're getting real now, aren't they? For the agent, for the entity, or you can upload a custom image. I'll just use an icon today. And then let's give this the category of human resources. Now from here, it's time to generate the goal statement. So click on generate. And whenever that goal statement, our AI is prompting for us, as a recruit manager, I'm responsible for overseeing the entire hiring process, from identifying staffing needs, onboarding new employees. Great. It's looking really good. As always, you can go and edit that or edit it later. And then the backstory will generate that one. There's no doubt that there's an art in prompt engineering to be able to get even better results out. So far, our AI prompting that actually prompts the AI is really hard to beat. At the moment, I'm trying to beat it. Then our base instructions. Let's get those in there. Let's see if we're happy with those. Strategic planning, recruitment strategy, job analysis and design, sourcing and attractive candidates, screening selection, candidate experience, compliance and reporting, team management, onboarding, looking at urgent staff needs, high volume recruitment, specialized roles, improving employment brand. Cool. It's looking pretty solid. Now, there is a new section here called Conversation Starter. I'm going to tell you all about that next week. You can have a play around with it. It's just a new feature. It's getting tested out a bit more today. Essentially, that means that if you're engaging with just a single agent, it's going to pop up a whole range of different conversation starters, like prompt starters for you, and you can create those yourself. And then in the upcoming weeks, we're actually going to see prompt templates come in as well. So, like I said, there's lots of cool features coming. Now, tone of voice, you get to select this one. We're in recruitment. I find recruitment is really, to me, it's more like a sales role than it is anything else. So I'm going to put persuasive here and influential for mine, but you can design yours as you choose. So persuasive and influential. I'll now create the agent. So scroll back up to the top, select create agent. And let's now go over and chat to that agent. Now, before I head off, once you've created that agent, just pop a 1 in the chat so I know that we're all together at this point in time. Right, looking good. Colleen, David, Nassim, Marvin, Hillary, Terry, Anthony, Zell, Catherine, Chris. Oh, even Jace, our live stream manager, is keeping up too. Fantastic. Neil, well done. Richard, excellent. Fantastic team. Lance, awesome. All right, well done, Flow Engineers. Let's go on over to the chat section. And let's now get our new recruitment agent, okay, which you can, if you've got lots of agents, you might like to type in to search to find your recruitment agent. Recruitment manager, pardon me. Okay, and select your recruitment manager. And we're now going to ask the recruitment manager to create a position description template so we can then take that standard and put it into memory. That way we'll be helping the AI to be more precise in future position templates that get created versus being very creative each time you ask it to create a position description template. So if we go back to our worksheet and we scroll down, in this section here, it says create a position description template, navigate to the chat, select the recruitment manager, use the following prompt in the chat. So you can copy this one here. Can you please help me write the generic template structure for a position description that includes KPIs? So it's a nice simple one. You might like to expand on it. I'm going to paste that one in there and run that prompt. Okay, and so let's have a look at what we've got there. We've got position description template, job summary, who they're reporting to, key responsibilities, key performance indicators, got good structure, qualification structure, competence, working conditions, company profile, application process, additional information. Great. Now, over in our documents, we've got one that I've done for you with a little bit more detail that also includes an example. So if we want to go one step further, we could also prompt this and say, please create an example just for speed today. I've got this one over here. So a more extensive one. Now, when we get an example delivered as well, that's going to help the AI for future reference, because AI really likes to have an example of what you're talking about, just like a human does. Isn't that interesting? If you've got a specific example, it'll do a better job with its structure later on. So if you haven't done so yet, please download the position description template structure, because we're going to upload that to our agent now. And you can, and we have it separately there. We can also, you'll notice that in this document, we've got it at the top to download also. Okay, so we're going to take that document and put it in the knowledge base. So let's head on back to agents and go to our recruitment manager and select the three-dot menu to edit and update the agent. And once you're there, scroll down to the knowledge base, and you can either drag and drop or upload from your computer the template, which I need to actually download myself. So position description template, I'm going to download that one. Now, you can download it as a Word document, a text document, PDF, any of those are fine. But download it as a Word. And now upload it. Position description. Now, what happens here is the document's been uploaded. It's going to be stored in a secure S3 bucket on Amazon. And then from there, it's going to be put into a vector database. Actually, I'll correct myself on that. It's going to be sent directly to a vector database. And the reasons you can't, these ones here, you can copy that link to it, you can download it, we can delete it as well. So if you need to remove files, you can do that. Now at this point in time, it goes to the vector database, it's being processed, been turned into numbers, and becomes available. Now at this point in time, it's time to publish the agent because we've given it its knowledge. And you'll notice that every time you go to publish the agent, there's a release note section so that you can keep track of the changes that you've made. And can I download the knowledge base emails from PST file? Not sure. I'll have to check into that, Albert. Now let's add this one here. I've added the content that I want to give to this update. Added position description template. You can copy that one, paste it in. It is a really useful discipline to add your release notes in every time you make a change, so that later on you can go back. If something, if the agent behaved differently for some reason, you'll see the reason why, and you can revert things. Okay, that one's been updated. It's now time to go to our workflows. Can I just get a one in the chat that you're ready to progress to workflows? Yes, some of us are. Awesome. Thanks, Hillary, Richard, Chris, David, Anthony, Neil, Terry, Nassim, Marvin, Dean. Well done. Okay, so let's go to workflows and we'll create our workflows. So this one here, the flow we're going to create here, we'll need to type this one in. And we'll go into workflows, we'll build a new workflow, and we'll give this one the name of our document. So creating position descriptions and communications, and need to add that one into your section to copy and paste. So we'll put this one here. Working from the live Google Doc. Copy and paste as we go along. Okay. Copy that one. And you can give it additional descriptions in here as well, if you like. So it could be like position description. And might have thank you email. Then we have the interview email, and it'll be the unsuccessful email. I think we've got in there as well. Here we go. But we could copy these ones in too. Thank you email, invitation for email, or an SMS. Okay, we'll click on create. And that takes us into the workflow builder. Now, what we see first and foremost is the block, also known as a node, maybe technically, but we'll refer this to as the blocks for each of the tasks that are going to be executed by the agents. To edit these, you can click on the block and we'll see the task agent tool area. Let's go back to our worksheet and let's go to where this first block is, which is to create the position description. And the agent we'll use is the recruitment manager. And the task description is to create a position description for the roles, include skills and suggested software and KPIs for the role. So let's copy on that one. And we'll paste that into the task details. Then select our recruitment manager by assigning the recruitment manager. And we're now ready to go on to the next block. Just pop a 2 in the chat when you've created the first block. All right, very good. Doing well, team. Let's add the next block by clicking on the plus sign. Now, you'll for this one now, select your task, select the block. Now, when you select that block, you'll notice that it remains on what we were previously on. We're previously on agents. So you can, at this point in time, just simply assign the recruitment manager again, and then go to your task, and we'll copy and paste the task description in for step 2, block 2, which is the thank you email. So we're going to create a personalized email for applicants informing that their CV has been received, is being reviewed, and a reply will come shortly. Read the next steps. So I'll now paste that one in. Okay. And with that in place, we can now select the next block to extend the block. We're on to block 3 now. So just put a 3 in the chat if you're also on to block 3. Or if you're on 4 or 5, you can tell me that you're raced ahead as well. That's fine. All right, looking good. All right, looking good. Okay, so we're on the task stage now. So we're going on to block 3, create an email to invite for an interview. So for candidates with an assessment score over 80%, and we can talk about assessment scores next week, create a personalized email inviting candidates to an interview that includes a booking link for the interview. We're also going to look at booking links for interviews next week, but we'll put this one in for this week. As an example, though, there's a couple of options. Like one of the biggest challenges with interviews is actually getting the interview scheduled at a timing that suits everyone. So you could use a tool like Calendly to have a standard link in there that people could book on. Next week, I'm going to show you an AI platform that actually does the interviews. So we'll show you how you can get those booking links in the system as well. Now we've got the agent that will be our recruitment manager. We keep it nice and simple this week. And then it'll go on to our 4th block. Have I done that right? 1, 2, 4, which is our SMS copy. Create an SMS for each candidate that passes the assessment score and includes the interview booking link, and keep the character at a maximum of 140. Cool, because it is an SMS and we want to make sure we're cost effective. So we'll select the recruitment manager. and we'll paste this into our task. All right, when you're done, give me a D for done, or 4. That'll work too. Thanks, Neil. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. D for done. Thanks, Sel, Marvin, Hillary, David, Colin, Chris, Terry, Richard, Michael, Anthony. Fantastic. Catherine, good work. All right, publish that one. Give it a big P for publish. Now, I always recommend that you start with private so you test it out before you share it with the rest of the organization. So click on publish in private. And we can now navigate over to the chat. And we'll create a new chat and select our recruitment manager. A new chat and then recruitment manager. So that we're talking specifically to the recruit. Oh, actually, forgive me. Let's not do that. Let's just go back to normal chat because you don't have to do that. You can just be in Raya at this point in time. Raya will then look for the recruitment manager, look for the workflow to come back and help us out. So this one, please create a position description. Position description and communications for a bookkeeper. And I didn't have that in the chat. Please, I've got to say, please create a, so we'll run the flow. So please create a position description for a bookkeeper. Yep. Similar there. And then when we run that one, Ray is now going to go looking and searching, either responding as the LLM or responding based on our agents and workflows, which is what we're looking for. Having to think, having a look around, see what we'll find. Okay. Haha, it didn't give me my workflow. It's come out and actually just done the full work. Oh, it's actually jumped the workflow. Okay, cool. It's jumped and actually delivered the workflow. So that's good news. And it's done that because it's the single agent. So that's a nice upgrade. Thank you, team. So position description for bookkeeper. It's done it even faster now. I love it when there's been a couple more items pushed late last night and this morning. Development's happening rapidly. Okay, so it's given out our record bookkeeping required skills, performance KPIs. We could prompt that a bit more actually. Yeah, mine jumped the workflow too. Oh, you got the workflow, Hillary. Okay. I'm going to try mine again there because it actually gave us what we needed as well, didn't it? It gave us communication template, gave the interview, and the booking SMS, gave us everything that we needed. So Marvin got the workflow. All right, I'll have to look into that as well. These AIs, they're getting smarter. We'll have a look at why that workflow jumped for us. All right, congratulations, everyone. You've gone and built out a whole new set. Let's have a look now at what's coming up. Now, I'm going to give you the sneak preview here because you've got my desktops open. So you'll notice this little thing that I'm dragging around. This is the new heads-up display from MultiPlai.tech. Now, why do we call this the heads-up display? Well, it's going to help you get access to the most important things. If you, by the way, who here has seen Top Gun or Maverick? Put an M for Maverick in the chat if you've seen the movie. And cool. All right. You know, if you've ever seen a movie like this, you'll notice that when they're flying in the fighter jets, they've got a heads-up display. Now, often we see, you know, the missile lock comes and they're going to shoot down the next plane. A friend of mine was the head of the F-111 squadrons in Australia for a while, and he said to me, Matt, when you ever jump in the planes, you don't fly the plane, you strap the plane on, and you're constantly looking ahead at the heads-up display, which has got your targeting mechanism. So you're always keeping where you're looking in front of you in your heads-up display. Now, in business, we often find that we get distracted, work by so many different things going on and different items open up. We really need to keep the main thing is what Stephen Covey says. And so it's easy in the world, especially with AI and all these tools that we've got, to get lost behind 100 different tabs and before you know it, you forget to take action on using your AI tools. Well, there's a range of tools that we've got to share with you soon. One of those, Raya, will now appear for you as an app inside from your desktop. Now, you'll get access to this from Friday next week as we finalize the testing on this one and get ready to deploy it to you. That means that Raya is always going to be available for you as a bit of a reminder. You'll also be able to dock your specific agents onto the heads-up display so you can keep it nice and close to you. And what you're going to see in the near future are things like AI performance agents that are going to work with you throughout the day to help you with your planning, doing reminders, giving inspirational communication to stay on track with your goals as well. And for those that were here last week and you saw the OKRX app, scoreboards from OKRX are also available in the heads-up display. So you can edit these and further enhance what your setups are. So there's a whole range of different apps you'll see, but also we have little business reels as well to inspire people. But you can even add scoreboards as well. So I'll just see if I've got a test one here I can show you. Test huddle, and I don't know if it's got any data in it. I'll show you more on that next week because I've got real live data there, which I best not share. A whole range of different cool things coming out from us in that zone as well, all designed to help your businesses to scale and your team members to exceed. It is the zone we love to play in, just helping people in their performance. So that's our heads-up display. Just a reminder that our AI strategic roadmap session, that's going to help you plan out and look inside your business where are all the different opportunities to apply AI. Going to break down the different building blocks and frameworks to consider, share with you the tools that we're using in an organization with over 1,100 employees. That's a few people. And so you'll look at where do you roll all these implementations out. Also that sometimes it is overwhelming thinking about AI, of just where could it happen, and before you know it, your head's spinning. I'm going to show you a way to really break that down and work on either 5-day sprints or 90-day sprints, depending on the type of implementation you're doing, and make it really thorough as you actually design and review and apply and assess what you'll be rolling out there. So next week is next week's Flow Friday will be like today, 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. here in Cebu in the Philippines. And we'll keep it at about 45 minutes, just like we will today, because the strategic roadmap session happens after. I'm going to make sure everyone has a break and a bit of a comfort break and catch up with some emails and so forth. And now Hillary's saying, "Oh, when is your application for ADHD kids coming?" Well, you know what's really fascinating with that is when we release the AI performance coach, you'll find that it would work really well for people with ADHD, which is me and half the population, right? Because to keep the main thing is pretty tricky. So that's one, but there's another really cool thing that will work for. Yeah, I got you, Hillary. It's all right. We got a family full of people with ADHD, so this stuff is. Sometimes I think we build it just for ourselves. Look, we've got another program coming out shortly called Power Hour, and the Power Hour will also appear here in your heads-up display. We're just waiting on it to be released through the Zoom marketplace. The Power Hour is designed to help you get focus and flow state in your day and actually build that monk muscle, the prefrontal cortex, to help you with focus and attention. In a world where we're all constantly scrolling on social media and being distracted, the reality is it's hard to actually build that focus and attention muscle. But in a Power Hour, what we do is we go through 3 phases of plan, attack, and celebrate. We take 5 minutes of planning. We're led by a Power Hour leader who will help us through a ritual of single tasking to doing the planning, help us focus and turn off all the distractions, let everyone know around you that you're in do not disturb mode for the next 60 minutes. We have a breathing ritual. We set our own focus and flow state score from 0 to 10 on just how well we're going to perform on this state. It's a very inspirational setup session. And then boom, we engage into the attack phase, and we're all at it for 50 minutes working on our single tasking exercises. There's a timer on the screen, and everyone keeps their cameras on, but we're muted and chat is off. and we give each other just that energy of knowing that we're all there working together, like what we're doing here in this session, right? But everyone's working away in silence. Now, at the end of the 50 minutes, what happens is the Power Hour champion welcomes everyone back in. We go into some breakout rooms, you meet someone, have a chat, talk about your experience. And what's amazing is that, and we ask them to re-rank themselves on how they think they went on the scale of 0 to 10. What's amazing is this community of people that are in these 9s and 9.5s and 10s on focus and flow state. And you just keep building this. Now, we've been running this inside our 1,100 person organization for the last 12 months, but we're now just about to release it into the Zoom marketplace as an app to attend as well. I think that is going to do a lot for people with ADHD, because I know it's done a lot for me. And the science or the studies tell us that McKinsey studies on focus and flow state is that we can get up to a 500% output when we get ourselves into flow state. And we're really working to get our neurochemistry happening effectively. Now, when we come up to officially launch that one, we'll let you know, and I'll let you all know about the neurochemistry and the physiology and psychology and everything that comes behind it, and make sure that everyone gets access as well. Okay, now web scraping and searching is coming for Flow Fridays, should be next week. It's currently on the development stage right now. There's a few other things that we'll see next week. So you'll be able to actually put in the specific URL, Michael, to get that one. Pretty excited about that. And what else we got? How does the billing work once the trial period is over per agent? Great question. So billing will be coming out to the system, I think 5th of July, next Friday or the week after. And with that, when billing goes live, once your trial ends, you'll have an option to either pay for monthly or annually. So, and I believe that rates might change, but my understanding is that you're going to be accessed at $25 per month USD, or for monthly, or $20 per month for paid annually. You'll be able to continue to use your OpenAI external credits, or soon we'll be releasing that you can use credits through us as well. 5 July is the middle of the school holidays here. Yeah, so there's probably always going to be school holidays along. We're always running weekly. For the actual AI strategic roadmap session, that's okay. Don't let that stress you out too much, because we'll be running it again with some frequency, because things are always changing in AI. So we've got lots of updates coming. We'll definitely be doing an additional session the following week as well. Neil, any limits? No limits at this stage. Where I've got, you're in an early stage program. So if there's any limitations coming later, I'm pretty sure you'll get grandfathered. One of the key areas is really like, how much knowledge can you upload? That's a key one. That might come later on limits when we're doing things like uploading large videos and so forth. We'll have to review that then. We'll give you an extension, Dean. Can we make sure for anyone that's on Jay that they get extensions if they're going to have he's onto it? Fantastic. So extension gifted. Thanks for asking. Yeah, Ramina, we'd love to chat with you. We've got one of the team will be able to take you off into a Zoom room or book a meeting as well. Yeah, no problem. We'll get you extended. We'd love to look after you. We want you really winning at your flow engineering and continuing to progress forward. Remember, you're going to just keep building your skills. And as you come along to these, it really is just the practice, right? Because you'll find that the more that you do it, the greater your mastery will be. I should sign off to say, I'm Mr. Miyagi, you are the Karate Kids, and you are the flow engineers. So thanks so much. And congratulations, everyone, on another great session, and look forward to seeing you next week. Have an amazing weekend. Well done, flow engineers. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye, everybody.